everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's MorganChin and I'm really excited you're here. If you're new here, I am Morgan. I was a former teacher and I transitioned to working in tech, and I like to talk about that on this channel, as well as some really cool VR building that I love to do. I work in VR right now as a product designer, so I like to show that too. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different per a request that I had. But basically, I'm gonna focus on how my life changed and how it's different. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of comparison between when I was a teacher and now working in tech. How are things different? So we're gonna be talking about work-life balance, we're gonna be talking about pay, just happiness in general, and just the subtle differences in how you do your job as a teacher versus in tech. I think this is important because there are a lot of teachers who absolutely love their jobs, and I completely support them in staying. If that's something that they love to do, I support it, and we need teachers, and I'm really excited for those people. But then there are people who are like me, who have this feeling in their spirit that something is not right, okay? They're like, I don't know if this is my final stop, or if it's just a stop on my journey. I don't know if this is something I want to do forever. They're not liking it, it's stressing them out or causing them mental or physical sickness. That is a thing that happened to me. So they want to quit. And I think there's a lot of fear placed on people who want to leave their teaching job. There's a lot of negative stereotypes and just a lot of unknowns. Like, you don't know what's going to happen when you quit a job in general. And I think especially for teaching, because it can be seen as one of those comfortable, stable jobs. You have great benefits. For healthcare in the US, you have your summers off. Where I was working, it's just really hard to get fired. So you basically have job security, and there's a teacher shortage. So you can kind of hop from school to school, district to district. And I think that's really great. But for those of us who feel like it's not a great fit and we want to move on, we don't have a lot of places to go for help and support. So today I'm going to be talking about those things, and hopefully it's helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something specific that you want to know about how things are different when you're leaving the teaching field, or if you have any things to share, just let me know. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is no summers off. This is the biggest thing. Oh my gosh, when I was talking about leaving teaching, everyone was like, oh, I would do anything for my summers off. I would do anything to have 2 or 3 months of vacation. And I'm just like, would you? Would you really? Like, do you truly understand why teachers have so many days off, like, over the summer? Me personally, I feel like it's because we lose our minds if we don't. Like, you start to get to this point at the end of the school year where your patience is like on 0, and you need those 2 or 3 months to recharge. Like, you really do. The teachers in year-round school, I don't know how you do it. I know you'll have like breaks throughout, but I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, that's the biggest fear people have. It's like, how is life gonna be working a job where you don't have summers off? Well, for me, it was kind of just like, I knew I didn't want to just be a teacher. I wanted to go in administration if I was gonna stay as a teacher. And I think as an administrator, you end up working 12 months. You don't get summers off. I think principals and maybe assistant principals don't get the full summer break either. I knew it was gonna come, and I remember, I think 3 summers ago was my first time working through the summer, and then I've worked through the summer ever since. And y'all, it's really not that bad. Like, it's actually not bad at all. To be honest, I have not thought about having the summer off. Like, just working year round just feels normal. And it's like, at my job I have about 21 or more days off. We have company holidays, and you can kind of schedule your breaks to take a week here, a week there. And the main difference is, like, you're doing something you love that doesn't drain you in the same way that teaching drains you. So you don't need that huge, time off. And your time off kind of accrues. So, like, if you don't use it, you can use it the next year or whatever. So you start to get more and more days. And I think it's really great. Like, I don't need summers off. I haven't thought about it. I don't know, I would get bored. And also, I'm doing something that I absolutely love. So I look forward to going to work on Monday. I would not want 3 or 2 months of like doing nothing. Not that teachers are doing nothing over the summer, because I know that that is not the case. But yeah, summer's off, you're fine. You'll be fine with no summer. You won't even miss it. The next thing is weekends and evenings. So I was an elementary school teacher, to add some context. So this might change when you start talking about middle school and high school, but for elementary, you are working all the time. You never stop. So you probably don't leave right at 4. You're staying late, and then you get home and you have more work, more planning, more grading, more preparing for the next day to do. And then on the weekends, I remember I'd spend time with my family Saturday and Sunday, and I feel guilty the whole time. Like, what am I doing? I know that I have lesson plans for the week to do, or I know that I need to work on this PowerPoint for this lesson, or work on these activities that my kids need to do in small group this week. There's so much I needed to do, and instead I was watching TV with my family. And it's terrible that you would feel guilty for spending time with your family, but you do, because you have so many things to do. So that is a big difference. Now that I've left teaching and I work in tech, my weekends and my evenings are mine. When the clock strikes 4 or 5, because your schedule is kind of flexible, you go home and you're done. You're absolutely done. You can watch TV, you can go to the gym, you can hang out with friends, go out with coworkers, whatever you want to do, you don't have anything else to do. Same thing for the weekends. The weekends are all yours. So, it's amazing. You have no Sunday night guilt or dread for the week coming up, because all your work, if it is not finished that Friday, it can be finished on Monday. There's no sense of I need to do work to prepare for work to be able to do my job. You don't have to do that. So it's really great. You do your job 9 to 5, 5 o'clock hits, you go home, you worry about it the next day, and that's it. I absolutely love it. I think I hated feeling guilty for trying to have time to myself or spending time with my family. It was not cool. I didn't like that. And I like to have weekends and evenings that belong to me and that I'm not doing work. And it gives me time to do stuff like this, which is film videos. So the next thing is you will miss the kids and your coworkers. I think it depends though where you work, because you could go into another field where you're working with kids. I work in tech with all adults, and there are no children. So I do miss working with kids. Loved the kids. That was my favorite part, or one of them about the job. The kids are hilarious. They're so funny and just full of so much joy. And especially elementary school, they're gonna be silly with you. They're gonna dance with you. They get so excited about the smallest things, and it just makes your day. And I think that element is missing when you go to a place where you only work with adults. That is not there. And I absolutely miss the kids and coworkers too. I don't know what it is about teacher friends, y'all, but those of you who know, you make you have the closest bonds with the other teachers on your grade level or other teachers in the school. You get to be really good friends, maybe because you're going through such difficult things together. I'm not entirely sure, but I just know you get so close. You're working with amazing people. You're talking, you're seeing each other all the time. And I miss my coworkers from teaching so much. And the bonds you have, I think in tech, are also really great, but it's different. It's not quite the same, I've kind of found, as what I would have working with teachers. And I'm not really sure why that is. And don't get me wrong, I love working in tech. I love my coworkers in tech as well. I have really great coworkers. I work at the best company, but it's just, something's different. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's also because you're struggling together, and it takes time to get to know people in teaching. You just get to know them quickly because you spend so much time together planning and doing things together. Another thing I would say is the events. The fun events are a bit different, okay? In elementary school, we'd have a character parade for Halloween, or the classroom parties for Christmas or winter break, sorry. But things are just very different. Obviously, we're not doing classroom parties in corporate America, but they do have holiday parties. They do have team bonding events and different things, but it's just different. It's not always the same amount of fun and excitement as you're gonna get when you're doing the events in school. I think the difference is that like those events are for kids, they're for children. And those of us who are teachers just love that kind of stuff, right? That's part of the job. But when you go into working in tech, the events are for adults. They're for the workers. So things are for kids and you're just participating in it versus things are for you. And so we're catering to two different audiences. The events are gonna be different, still really, really awesome, but different. All right, I know you're waiting for this one, and let's just get into it. Okay, so the pay. Y'all, the pay outside of teaching is so much better, especially when you're talking about tech. That might not be true of every field, but it's definitely true of tech. And I just want to say that me personally, I have more than doubled my salary just by going from teaching to tech. A million bajillion% worth it. And I know that we don't teach for the salary. Like, I totally get it, but y'all, you need to pay bills. Okay, you need food, you need clothes, and that stuff is a lot easier to do and to pay for, especially if you have kids, when you have more money. So you're not stressing about the same things. And teachers are doing so much work, they're just grossly underpaid, and it's just not okay. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting paid way more for a lot less work. Like, the amount of work I was doing as a teacher was just absurd. It's just absurd. I was working all day, like 7:30 to 4, and then I'd stay late till like 5:30, then you go home, you got more stuff to do, you got weekends, you're just always having things to do, work to do, no breaks, and it's so much work. And in tech, I'm not even doing near as much stuff, and I'm getting paid more. There's also more benefits, like, y'all, they have bonuses. When they told me that, I was like, excuse me? Like, in teaching, maybe you'll get a raise each year, and it's like tiny little like amount of money. And I'm listening to people talk about these bonuses they're getting like twice a year, or holiday bonus or promotion bonus. I'm just like, excuse me? That's a lot of money. Like, what is happening right now? As teachers, you're rating, I mean, some districts have that pay for performance, but even then, it's across the whole district, and it's just really hard to get that bonus. It's not that much money. I mean, any money is great, but it's just, compared to tech, it's just not the same. It's crazy. And then there's also like, some companies have like 6 months of maternity leave, and it's not your sick time because you have unlimited sick time. You also have things like they'll pay for your Wi-Fi, or they'll pay for your transportation to and from work, or they'll provide buses, they'll pay for your food. You'll have free lunch, or it'll be subsidized, and it'll be really, really cheap, like $2. And it's not like school pizza and corn and chocolate milk. It's like actual food for adults. That's really, really good. It's night and day difference when you're talking about pay and benefits compared to the amount of work that you have to do for these benefits and this pay. It just blew my mind. And obviously, like I said, I wasn't in it for the money. I'm more about doing something that I absolutely love, because money will come when you're doing what you love. But at the end of the day, I almost passed out when they told me my offer. I was like, whoa, what? People are out here like, yeah, and my offer is like, it's great, but people are making so much more money than me in tech, and I'm just entry level in the beginning of my career. And it's just, it blows my mind. And I think teachers need to get paid more, and we need to advocate for that. But in the meantime, if you're thinking about leaving, be prepared for those benefits and that salary, because it is nice. It's nice. So the next thing is, teachers will totally understand this, but in the tech field, or just outside teaching, I have noticed that you are trusted and respected as the subject matter expert. So that is supposed to be the case with teaching, but we all know that's not what happens. And we have people who have never taught a day in their lives, have been out of the classroom 10, 20, 30, 40 years, making all the rules and decisions for what teachers are going to teach, how they're going to teach it, when, how long, what students need. It's ridiculous. And it was infuriating for me, to be honest. And I think I was just pleasantly surprised when I came into tech and I became the subject matter expert. I'm a product designer. also known as user experience designer. And when it comes to designing, screens for different things, whether it be in virtual reality or on 2D phones or web, people would look to me like, okay, so you designed this, we have a question about this. Should it be this way or this way? Or is this what you meant, or is it this? Or, hey Morgan, like, what do you think about this? And they're respecting my opinion because I am the expert in this field, and it just blew my mind. And everyone's coming to me and looking to me to make these choices, and I absolutely love it. And I can use the knowledge I have to share, like, hey, we should do it this way and this is why, or, I don't really think that's a great idea and this is why. And people really listen to me, and I have control over a lot of these things that I am the expert about or I am in charge of. With teaching, that's not the case. Okay, like, you can do what you can do in your classroom, but ultimately the admin, the district leaders, the politicians are really calling the shots, and it's just crazy. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. So you will not have to deal with that. Another thing that I love is there's a lot of flexibility in this job. Now that I've left teaching, teaching is very not flexible. If you're going to take a day off, you need a substitute, and you need to plan for that substitute. It's almost more work to take off than it is to just go in and like do what you need to do later. Here's not the case. Like, it's so easy during the middle of the day. Like, I need fresh air. I'm just gonna go take a walk, or I'm gonna walk my dog. And you can do that. And no one's looking for you or waiting on you or depending on you to be there, right? Like, obviously do your job, obviously. But if you need to walk in the middle of the day, go walk, right? Our lunch breaks are not like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of you scarfing down food as fast as you can or eating while actively watching children in the cafeteria. It's more so you have an hour. If you want, you can take longer to eat lunch, and you can slowly enjoy. You can walk across the street. Here, I can choose when I want to take my time off. And with teaching, you have that time off, but you're kind of looked at sideways about like, why? Like, if you want to go take a vacation with your family and take some time off because you need a mental health break, they're looking at you like, will your kids need you? Who's gonna do this? We have a test next week. We have an exam coming up. We have this, and that. And can this not wait until summer? And it's just like, that's not a thing in tech. No one's gonna question you. They encourage you to take your time off. And if you're sick, you're unlimited sick days. So you don't have to calculate like, I only have a couple sick days left. Do I really need to take this? So you can take your mental health days in tech. No one's counting you. You have plenty of them, and it might vary by company, but even still, you have a good amount of sick days. And I just love the flexibility where, like, I might need to run across the street to go do something, and like, I can go do that. I can leave and come back. I can work from different places because I work from home, and I can work from home here where I live, or I can go somewhere else and work for the week in a cabin in the mountains. Like, it's just a great perk. Okay, one negative thing that I have noticed when it comes to leaving teaching and working in tech is that you are doing a lot more sitting. I think this is very true of teachers, but I'm sure especially for elementary school, you rarely sit down. Very rarely during the day are you actually sitting, like to the point where you feel relief when you can get off your feet and sit down. For me, I was one of those active teachers where I was always walking around, always checking in on students, always talking with them, or like, I didn't teach sitting down. I taught standing up and just really wanted to captivate their attention. And everyone's different, but you don't sit down often. In tech, I'm sitting down all day. And it's worse, especially with work from home. I think before, when you're in the office, you have those natural, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hey, I wanna get a snack. I need some fresh air. I need to go to lunch. And you get up and you move around. But when you're working from home, you can go for hours just sitting in the same spot, and you're in this really bad cramped posture a lot of the times. And I'm sure it's gonna have some negative effects on my health. So you have to be a little bit more intentional about working out, walking, riding bikes, exercising. That's really important. Whereas with teaching, I would get like 10,000 steps a day, every day, just from doing my job. It was just so much walking and movement around the school with the kids. And I think that is a negative that I do miss about teaching, is just being up on your feet a lot more often. There's some workarounds for this with like tech. There's the bicycle desk, there's the standing desk. There's people who like to switch locations every hour or so to get moving, working out a bit more. But it's just one thing that I've noticed. Another thing that I think is the same in both teaching and tech is that there's gonna be this struggle between meetings and doing your actual job. I kind of wonder if this is like a just working as an adult thing, period. I don't know. Like, if you're not in tech, do you also experience this? But it's like, as teachers, you have your planning period, right? But most likely you have a meeting during your planning period, or in the mornings, you have a staff meeting or staff development or some kind of meeting, a parent meeting, a conference, whatever. Then you're balancing needing to do the work to prepare to teach, the planning, the grading in your free time with I've got a million meetings. Well, it's the same in tech. You have a lot of meetings. You have to aggressively say no to or think like, hey, do I really need to be here? Is this beneficial for me or do I need to leave? And you have to balance that with the actual work you need to do. So for me, I'm a designer. I need to do designs. I need to be thinking about the products that I'm trying to get from zero to shipping. I've got to work on those things and help the team move them along. But I also have to balance the fact that I have 4 meetings today and I need to go to these. So that to me is just maybe a universal thing you're always gonna struggle with and you're gonna have to deal with it. So yeah, that's it for now. I do wanna leave you with one final opinion. This is not for people who love their jobs. If you love your teaching job, this video is not for you. Please ignore, okay? This is for people who are considering leaving, they're not happy and they just need a little bit of support. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I 1,000,000% love tech. I'm so glad that I love teaching and I don't look back. I don't think about the summers off. I just literally don't. Like, there's so many pros. I'm so happy. I look forward to going to work every day. I'm excited. I jump out of the bed excited for what I have to do that day, and I work and work day ends and I don't want to stop. Like, obviously I do, but I want to because I'm having such a good time and I just enjoy the flexibility. I enjoy the autonomy, the freedom, the respect. It's amazing and I wouldn't change it for anything. So if you're thinking about it, I would say just take some time, think about what's best for you, think about what's best for your family, and try to get some support. And anyway, regardless of what decision you're making, I'm supporting you, I'm cheering you on, you're awesome, and I hope you find what you're looking for. Good luck on your journey, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.